So a lot of people are very quick to rush into business ownership without really asking themselves, why do I want to be a business owner? Why do I want to be an entrepreneur? Now, entrepreneurship is a sort of a buzzword these days, and everyone wants to be an entrepreneur just because they want to be one. But I actually would suggest that before you start out anything, you need to really understand your motivation. Why? Because that really will determine a lot of of all your other actions in the future, how you approach the business, what kind of business you run, and how you operate it. So having asking yourself that question of why is really crucial. Now, for example, for myself, when I was starting my very first business, my why and why I really was motivated was to gain practical skills and to pay for my tuition. So I just arrived from Nigeria when I was 19. I was in Canada, and I needed ways to make money to pay my way through university. I was studying computer science and business, and running a business seemed like the most obvious way for me to realize that goal. And also, I was very interested in gaining practical skills to prepare me for the real world. But those were my two core motivations, and it really determined how I approached the business. Because when things were very difficult, when things were not going my way, I was not quitting because I really understood why I was here, why I was doing this. So if your motivation is, I want to just be rich and famous through business ownership, or I want to be I want to be popular, or if it's something as vain as that, then I would really re-examine if business ownership is the right path. Because if you're in it just for the fame, you probably won't be successful, and that's something to make a note of. Now, Simon Sinek, in his book Start With Why, he said that people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do what you do. So really understanding your why is really important. Have you seen famous businesses or famous companies that they sell something very simple? It could be a t-shirt, it could be something very simple, nothing too crazy, but they have like hundreds or thousands of people who are interested in their company or in their brand. The reason why they have that many people who are interested is not necessarily because of the t-shirt, because I'm sure hundreds of other people can do the same thing, but it's because of their why, and they were able to really communicate that why, which is what really got people interested in them. So that's something to make a note of. Now, if you already have a business idea and you think that that's what you want to do, then that's great, good for you. But if you're really trying to still figure out, what do I want to do? What kind of business do I want to run? I have three tips for you when you start approaching that question. The first step for really understanding or finding out what kind of business you want to run is to talk to 10 people in your network. So 10 friends or 10 people who you trust and who you like, and ask them what they think you're really good at, or what they would ask you to help them with. So it could be something as simple as oh hey, you're very good at teaching guitars, or you're very good at teaching piano, or you're good at teaching music, or you're very good at designing websites, and that is something you're particularly good at. So that is a very good information for you to know as you try to think about what business you want to start. Also, make a list of problems you've encountered, things that have been particularly frustrating for you. Now, some of the biggest businesses that we currently know, not like your Uber or your Airbnb, it came as a result of people having personal problems that they just felt like there was no solutions for, and they it's something that affected them, and they wanted to create a solution for that. I'm sure you've heard of Spanx, which is the lady wear company, and and it's a multi-billion-dollar company right now, but it started from the founder just having that issue that was a pain point for her personally, and she went about just trying to fix that problem, and she was going to be her first customer. And when you have that approach to business, when you have that approach to your first business and to your business idea, that really makes a massive difference. And also, the third perspective is, what are you actually passionate about? So is there something you particularly enjoy doing? Are you particularly, enjoy art? Do you like painting? Do you like do you like drawing? Do you like making stuff with your hands? Do you like building things? Do you like communicating? In your passion, or whatever something you love doing, that is also a clue to really understanding what type of business that would be best suited for yourself. Now, when you start approaching all of these questions, just make a list of everything that comes to mind. Don't overthink it. Focus on quantity over quality. Just make a list of all of the ideas based off of the answers to all of those three questions I asked you, and make sure that you're thinking outside the box. Make sure that you're thinking of possible scenarios that maybe are not very obvious to you, but be open to all types of ideas. Even if it's something that sounds outlandish right off the bat, be open to it and just put it on paper. And then once you've done that, really where the innovative ideas comes from is a combination of merging all of these different ideas to create something unique. So it doesn't have to be something completely new, because it's very hard to come up with a completely new product that has not been heard of before, because there's almost nothing new under the heavens. But when you combine and merge different types of ideas and all the three questions that I've asked you to consider, when you merge all of those answers that you put on the list, you really start to come up with some very interesting ideas. The other thing also is to get some feedback. So it's very important to make sure that there's not some blind spots you're not considering. So talk to other people about your ideas. Don't be shy about it. Don't hold on to your ideas and be like, I just want the ideas to myself. No, you gotta talk to people about it. And the reason why is people will give you some feedback, they'll give you some reality check, and they'll tell you, hey, that doesn't make sense, or that makes sense, or maybe think about it that way. They'll provide some helpful suggestions. And I would suggest talk to people who actually have ran business as well. Because if you talk to someone who has not ran a business, then the answers they're giving you might not be very helpful, because they've not been in the arena, they don't know what business ownership feels like. And once you get the feedback, it can really help you as you move forward. Now, also, you don't have to start from scratch. There are other types of business you can start out. Franchising is a fantastic model to starting your first business, because you don't have to worry about the business idea being there already. You just have to worry about implementing and executing. So franchising is also an excellent way to start. Also, there's something called entrepreneurship, and this is basically working in a company but trying to learn how a business operates by by approaching it from a safer environment. So by, for example, working with a startup, working with a company that is very, very young and new, that could give you an excellent opportunity to learn how to start a business as well, so you don't have to start everything from scratch from day one. But I hope with all of these ideas and approaches, and with the exercise I would include in the resources, this can help you with really understanding your why and brainstorming for your first business idea.